It began with nothing. Just a still night, a dimly lit lounge, and the muted flicker of an old black-and-white film dancing on the TV. I hadn't planned for anything to change. I hadn't even let myself dream of it. But the moment his hand brushed mine, something deep within me gave way. And once it did, there was no turning back. I'm Dana, 47, married to Paul for over 20 years. We have 2 children, a home, and a schedule that runs on autopilot. We don't fight anymore, but we don't smile either. We operate like a well-worn machine that forgot it once ran on passion. He returns home. I prepare dinner. We tidy up, then sleep. Repeat. But to feel wanted, noticed. That part of me had been buried until Tyler. Tyler is 31. He's my best friend's son. He grew up in our backyard. Sleepovers, grilling, summer games. He once called me Miss Dana. I still recall his high school graduation. The way he hugged me just a bit longer than usual. I thought nothing of it then. But between those years and now, he changed. Broader, gentler, more reserved. The kindness never left him. But there was something new in how he looked at me. He'd noticed small things when I wore something new or looked tired. Paul hadn't commented in years. That night, it was only us. Paul had taken his usual meds early and was already upstairs asleep. Tyler stayed behind after dinner. Said he wanted to finish the movie. He liked the classics, said they reminded him of calmer days. I sat next to him on the sofa like so many nights before, but this one was different. The silence was dense. His knee brushed mine. I didn't move. The shadows from the screen danced over the room. I couldn't even follow the film. I could only feel the soft pressure of his leg against mine. Then his hand moved. At first, just a faint stroke. His fingers grazing my skin. My entire body went still. I didn't speak. I didn't flinch. He left his hand there. So did I. There was no urgency, no boldness. His pinky gently curled and settled on my thigh. Then a pause. His palm turned open, waiting. My hands twisted the blanket on my lap. I stared ahead, the movie. Just background noise. Then I heard his voice, soft and barely a whisper. "You okay?" I nodded. That's all it took. His hand rested more firmly on my leg. Not in control, just steady. My skin warmed under his fingers. My mouth opened, but no sound came. His thumb moved. A single, slow sweep over my thigh. My breath caught. My legs pulled closer. Still, I didn't stop him. His hand edged upward. I shifted, my knees parting slightly. I hated how natural it felt. I had convinced myself for years I didn't need intimacy anymore. That Paul and I had matured into silence. But Tyler reminded me, silence isn't comfort. It's absence. And I was starving. We didn't kiss immediately. We didn't even glance at each other. He watched the film. I watched him. His fingers traced beneath the hem of my shorts, warm, slow, deliberate. I could barely breathe. He leaned close, not for a kiss, but to whisper, "I'll stop if you want." I couldn't reply, because I didn't want him to stop. He touched me like someone who missed me, who waited. And this was the moment when I finally turned to him. I kissed him. Tentative, honest, real. His lips met mine like oxygen after being held underwater. I didn't feel like a wife then, or a mother. I felt like a woman who craved to be seen. We melted into each other. On that couch, the TV still flickering. He was gentle, like I was something precious. My shirt bunched beneath my ribs. His hands were warm, alive, present. I kept thinking, stop this, end this. But every time I tried to speak, his touch erased the thought. Not forceful, not desperate, just certain. A sound echoed down the hall. Maybe a creak, a pipe, a floorboard. He leaned back slightly, his forehead brushing mine. "We shouldn't be doing this," he whispered. I know, but I kissed him again, because it was too late. When the credits rolled, we sat entangled in silence. I looked at him, shirt rumpled, lips swollen, eyes searching mine. "What now?" I asked. He didn't answer. The next morning, I stood in the kitchen, coffee untouched. The bathroom door creaked. He passed me, without a word, filling a glass with water. I didn't look up, but I felt the weight of what lingered between us, the kind of tension that hums underneath politeness. Later that week, we ran into each other. In the laundry room. Our hands brushed over the basket. We froze. I can't stop thinking about it, he said. Me neither, I whispered. But we both understood it couldn't happen again. Only that night hadn't satisfied the ache. It had ignited it. I started avoiding the living room. After dark. Locked my bedroom door. Not to keep him out, but to keep myself in. I still felt his breath on my skin, his hand on my leg, the look in his eyes that told me I was still visible. Days later, we sat on the porch steps. The sky faded into soft gold. He sat a few feet away, close, but just out of reach. You've been quiet, he said. I've been thinking. Me too. I turned to him at last. I shouldn't have let it happen. But you did, and I didn't stop you. We sat with that silence, the kind that wraps around your ribs and doesn't let go. I didn't say goodbye when he rose and walked into the dusk. I just watched until he vanished into the shadows. Inside, Paul was rinsing dishes. I stood in the doorway, wine glass in hand, and lied with my silence when he asked, "You okay?" I nodded, but I wasn't, because the worst part wasn't that it happened. The worst part was, I wanted it too.